Hey, welcome back, folks. This is Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter on the podcast called Behind the Badge here in Rochester, New York. We take these quick hits on subjects that are emerging in our community or subjects that are in vogue right now. And this one, everybody's talking about immigration and relationships with law enforcement when it comes to the immigrant community. And I've been having conversations with a couple of legislators, and I just thought it'd be great to share some of our conversations on the podcast of what we're trying to do to build relationships and build strength and reduce anxiety in our community. First, I'll let you introduce yourself. President, great to have you here. Just thank you for all that you're always answering the phone when I call. You're always supporting. We have monthly meetings on other subjects too, and this one's been coming up the last couple of months. So first of all, introduce yourself real quick, if you don't mind, for the public.
Absolutely. My name is Yversha Roman. Really excited to be here, and I want to say thank you to you as well, right? We've been able to create a relationship where we both share information and are able to impact the community in ways that I don't think have been able to occur previously. So I'm really excited to be here. But I represent the 26th Legislative District, which is made up of parts of Charlotte, Maplewood, Greece, and Irondequoit. I've been elected for 6 years and president for 2. I'm really a social worker by trade. Yeah. So for me, it's about connecting the community and ensuring that individuals have opportunities to have dialogue so that they understand each other better.
That's awesome. Thank you. And I do appreciate our relationship. Thank you. It's important. And Legislator Cruz, how are you?
Doing great.
Good.
Thank
do you mind if I throw firefighter in there just so people know who we're talking to?
You could.
You could? I did. You didn't, so you're not using it.
Could.
But also another public servant serving our community with the Rochester Fire Department. I appreciate that, putting your life on the line for your community and serving. So
I appreciate that, Sheriff. I appreciate you guys having us. It's been now 3 years in the Monroe County Legislative Body, representing the 21st District. Like you mentioned, I've been a public servant myself. 15 years now. March 1st I hit 15 years with the Rochester Fire Department.
There it is.
Yeah. I was 18 when I started.
You went through the East High School program.
I went through the East High School program.
We're trying to mimic that thing right now.
It's
a great program.
Oh, you guys went deep. Okay, yeah. Which I happen to legislate over. So the East High School is within my district, which is prideful, right? A prideful moment for myself. Yep. I, like yourself, take public safety very seriously, and now I'm working in the community risk reduction part of the Rochester Fire Department, which means being proactive, right? How do we carry conversations with the community, with our law enforcement partners in general to say, what do we do? What messages do we put out to make sure that everybody feels safe? Because it's one thing to be safe, another thing to feel safe.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And in the firefighting community and also law enforcement.
Yes, sir.
Someday we're going to have you back on and talk about the EAST program. Again, this is a quick hit podcast, so I'm going to waste too much time. But
I would love
that's important because we're really trying to build that into law enforcement. Some of those guys and gals are retired.
Yeah.
They went through the EAST School. Both high school graduates from Jefferson. You're East. Where'd you go to school?
I graduated from Aquinas. Yes.
It's the smart one.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, I know we're bantering back and forth. There's anxiety in the community, right? There's anxiety with immigration. There was an influx of immigrants coming to the community, and now, there's things going on in other parts of the country. We just want to talk about our relationship here and what we can do better to, when people see law enforcement, we don't want them to be fearful of law enforcement. We especially if they're not doing any criminal activity. If they're criminals, maybe, but, what are some of the things we can do better as far as a legislative body and the sheriff's office working together, law enforcement in general? What's the community want to hear? What's the community looking to see? I guess is really the best question.
I'd say more conversations like these, opportunities to interface with law enforcement when there isn't any criminal activity happening, right? We don't want the first interaction with law enforcement to be a negative interaction. So for me, it really is having conversations like these, informing the community and creating opportunities for the community and law enforcement to come together in safe spaces, to feel welcomed on both sides, right? So, I worked in schools. I remember having officers come in and play video games. Or, I grew up on North Clinton Avenue, and I have very fond memories of my DARE officer. Yeah. And it really is the reason why I'm able to feel less anxiety in situations where officers are around. The reality is that there are many people in the community whose first interaction was negative, or they are now hearing about a lot of
perceiving it.
Hearing about a lot of interactions that are negative, whether it be they see it on social media, don't fully understand what happened and occurred, and it has caused a heightened sense of apprehension
Absolutely.
when it comes to our officers.
Yeah, and I think we have to be intentional about those relationship buildings, right? We can't just rely on social media to try and get communication out. I think it's called a handshake. It's called sitting across from the table and having conversations back and forth. You can see the fine major out at St. Michael's. Just intentionally trying to do that. We've been to St. Michael's for, I think, 4 years right now doing ID cards, mostly for kids that probably immigrated to America, I'm assuming. But the fact is we've been trying to make that star something special there, right? Don't come up, high five the police officer, get your deputy sticker, and also get a photo ID in case, God forbid, a kid goes missing or something. That's the first thing we're going to look for is that identification of the kid.
Yeah.
But so go back to you, Ledge. This is a Legislator Cruz. This is a quick hit podcast, so I don't want to, like, from your standpoint, what can we do better? What else should we be doing in the community, or what else? What are some different things we can do in the future? We can always look back and improve, but what are we doing tomorrow, right?
No, yeah. So I think we have started that process, right? When things like, I'm looking at your website, right, and the messaging that the overall community wants to hear,
right,
it's already there, right?
Yeah.
When we're beginning to have these conversations or meetings with other organizations, we're being impacted by the current climate that we're witnessing, right, pertaining to ICE or federal agents and things of that nature. There's a process about doing certain things, right? And when that process sometimes it's not being taken in the proper manner, some people may feel some type of way. And with that, we enter the era of, how do I begin to feel safe, right? Who do I trust, right? So a lot of that is being part of that voice, having individuals from the community that's being, in some ways, targeted, right? To have this conversation with you, Todd Baxter. So when we put a message out together, we can say, hey, listen, we're here to help the public safety. We're here to help our residents out, period. We're not here to dispute civil matters, right? We're here to make sure that people are safe, and we want to make sure that people feel safe when they call 911.
Amen.
Right? So we want to make sure that we separate fiction from facts, right?
Great way to put it.
And that we are able to do so in a manner that's also coming from individuals that set community trust due to the amount of work, like individuals like President Roman has put into our neighborhood. And myself, I pride myself in the amount of work that I put in my neighborhood, from grassroots and not-for-profits and things of that nature. But, that type of work that has been inputted into the community, hopefully we could amplify your voice and spread it into different formats.
Yeah, and I think from my standpoint, what we don't want people to do, especially if they're victims of crime, and we got to, we're interlacing criminal activity with law enforcement, and then you got federal immigration. But there's a lot of people that immigrated, right, that are victims of crime, right? And we're talking bad crimes. We're talking human trafficking. I mean, seriously, right here, we do them for a living, right? And sex trafficking. It's modern day slavery. That's how I call it. Like, this is these feel, they were forced to come to this environment. They were forced. So we got to work together on these things to help these victims out. And what we don't want to do is, we're the first stop for that, to stop that horrific action. So people got to trust that they can call us, and we're not going to be looking for your papers. We're going to be looking that you're a victim of a crime, and we can protect you and also get the perpetrator. We love doing that, right? So
absolutely,
I think it's that whole, we're all in this together, right? I mean, we can have nuances, difference, or things can go, but I think people just want to hear that we're talking, we're communicating, we're not throwing darts at each other. We're actually trying to throw some, what can I do for you? What can I do? What do you need? What do I need? Because we're public safety. So we want to do public safety.
We want to keep the community safe, right? Uphold the law, and make sure that the constitutional rights of individuals in the community aren't being violated. And I think that's really, we all believe that. We want to make sure that we continue to echo those sentiments into the community, so folks know, we believe in due process. We want to make sure that the law is being upheld every step of the way.
I just think it's an important conversation. We can go on for hours about this, but I'll go back to where we started this. It's just important that we have conversations, we communicate. When there's anxiety, let's talk to people that are feeling mistrust. That should never happen in our community. So I appreciate the doors you guys are opening for us. I challenged you guys the other day in a meeting. Open some doors for us. Get us in those environments. Get us in the conversations so we can have those conversations. And you've done that.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important that we're doing that. I'm 3 minutes over, believe it or not. I told you it was going to go
that
quick.
Was fast.
I told you it was going to quick.
Well, I mean, I will just say I really appreciate it. I know this is just the beginning or the continuation of a conversation that will continue as we navigate a space of ensuring that the community feels safer and safer.
Yeah, and again, for folks that don't know, I mean, we've set up several meetings already. You know, we established we've had liaison deputies assigned to the immigration community for years. We've put that on steroids. We've got a couple more volunteers from the road patrol they're going to get trained up and going with you guys, right? And hopefully and going to different environments that you can open doors that we can't. So we appreciate that. And it's very important. But all right, folks, I'm way overboard. I'm getting yelled at over here by the editors. Until next week, be safe. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.